Our customers don't really care or want to hear that because it's our job and our responsibility to make sure that everything goes well. When your systems are up and running and everything's running great, your network's running fast, no one ever says thank you. It's sometimes an industry with no thanks. So what I will say for Thanksgiving is we give thanks to you. They care tremendously and they'd be working their butts off to get you back up. Welcome to a special edition of Built to Scale with Anthony Mongeluzo. This is our Thanksgiving Day. And what we want to talk about today is giving, right? So first, we want to give thanks. I want to give thanks to our customers, our listeners, our team members, and all of the, especially our team members' families that really help support us. You know, with IT, we're working nights and weekends. And if you don't have that supportive spouse, it makes the job a lot tougher. So to everyone, thank you. Number one, so much. Number two, I want to talk about giving thanks in IT, right? So IT folks in particular, and everyone in every industry, I know we have nuances of different things, but IT, at least for me, I'm a little biased, obviously, 25 years in the game, but it's sometimes an industry with no thanks, right? Technicians work hard, patches, security vulnerability, cybersecurity is running wild and not in a good way as hackers are getting smarter with AI and things like this. And in the industry, it's interesting, right? When your systems are up and running and everything's running great, your network's running fast, backups are good, no one ever says thank you. And that's okay, because I guess the thank you is when you pay the bill and things like that. But as an IT professional, remember, we're working with vendors such as Microsoft, Dell, HP, SonicWall, you name it. And we're at the mercy of our vendors. I won't say which one, who's who, they're public, but one of those aforementioned vendors were hacked 3 times in the last 18 months, right? Okay, well, there's not much we could do if a product gets hacked other than patch it and take the recommendations. But guess what? Our customers don't really care or want to hear that because it's our job and our responsibility to make sure that everything goes well. So what I will say for Thanksgiving is we give thanks to you. If you have an IT person in your life, if you working with another company that does your technology, that does your software development, it might not be a bad idea at one point just to say thank you, because for the 364 days a year, hopefully, that you're up and running, the one day might not even be their fault. But what I could tell you from knowing all the people I know in the office, they care tremendously and they'd be working their butts off to get you back up. Let's talk about some IT lessons from the Thanksgiving table, not your table, my table here, right? You don't want to talk about IT or cybersecurity. You want to enjoy dinner with your family, right? Maybe playing a turkey bowl that day. But let me give you some lessons here. If you want your IT people to give thanks to you, right? There's certain things as a business owner that you really need to provide your IT company or your internal IT staff with. Number one is a budget for the right tools and products. Nowadays, you can't just expect to buy an antivirus and that your systems will be protected. Not at all. Right now, you need a great EDR, which is endpoint detection and response. If you looked at one of our earlier podcasts, I highly recommend Huntress, and that's what all of our clients have. What Huntress does is Huntress finds a way that when people are trying to hack your network, maybe got access somehow, maybe it's a third-party vendor, maybe one of your employees had a slip-up. They actively look and they could stop threats in real time. I can't count. It's probably at least 100 times now, probably more since we've been using a Huntress, or they stopped a very big problem from happening. The second thing is, let's say you don't have a Huntress, or let's say someone forgot to install it, right? Okay, bad people get in, they drop a payload. Well, your IT people, and this is IT 101, know that you need to have a good backup. So again, we have a lot of great partners in backup. There's a lot of great, depending on budgets and what you're looking for. Datto's incredible, Veeam's incredible. And there's so many. I just mentioned those two because I tend to work with them a lot more. Those products have services which are called immutable. So let's say you get hacked because that thing didn't work. Hackers are going to start attacking your backup. And when you get hacked, you didn't get hacked when you found out about it. You were probably hacked once before. They were lurking in your network. Now, if you have the proper backup in place, that gives you another layer of security. And with immutable backups in particular that basically put your backup in cold storage, those that don't have immutable, the hackers will destroy your backups so you can't restore. They can't touch an immutable backup. So you need to have that. Even going back before that, I should have mentioned multi-factor authentication. You need MFA. Basically, all it is if someone gets your password, you have a device, your phone, your iPad, where you enter a code. So now, even if they have your password, they still can't access your systems, your bank accounts. So whether it's your office, whether it's something personal, I even have MFA on my Zoom. MFA for everything. Now, if you use those three things, you will be giving thanks because that puts you in a very good position to thwart the hackers. There's other tools out there. I don't want to go through every one of them. That's the turkey. That's the bread. That's the potatoes and gravy at your table. And if we're talking security, we're talking protection, you want those things. Now, I'll give you one more little bonus one. You also want to make sure you have regular training for your staff, right? As Zig Ziglar, the famous public speaker, used to say, it's consistency. It's about doing things every day, right? You can't take a 2-hour shower on Sunday and be clean all week. You got to take a shower every day. And just like your cyber posture, just like your staff, people are coming at them all the time with phishing attempts and other ways to come at you. So make sure you use some type of software, get some third-party training, because your team members and the people that work for you are actually the biggest weapon that the hackers use to try to gain entry into your network. Now, one thing I also want to talk about, and I've been fortunate enough to cover this for many years, different scams, different things. Thanksgiving is a time of travel. It's one of the most traveled holidays of the year. Let me give you a few things to look out for, whether it's hotel rooms, whether it's airports. Never plug the USB portion of the device, of your device, into a charging station, say at the airport, right? Because a lot of times bad people put skimmers in there where you think you're plugging into an official port, but you're not. They're going to try to drop a payload onto that iPad or your phone or your Android device. What is safe, though, if you see an electrical outlet, use a charger and then plug your USB into there. Especially the hotel rooms, too. People sometimes will leave, it sounds kind of crazy, but they'll put a menu in for takeout. Let's say a Thanksgiving menu. They slide it under the door. Guess what? I've heard and ran stories where you're in your room, you scan the QR code or you call the phone number on it to place your order with the hotel. And an hour later or so, you call the hotel. Hey, where's my food? I ordered a cheeseburger. You said 20 minutes. You don't have an order with us. Well, guess what? Hacking also comes in the physical form where people literally will just slide something in there. They'll try to trick you that way. Be leery of QR codes. Let's say you're walking past your favorite store or your shop or your retail vendor, and there's a QR code. Well, guess what? If you scan that QR code, how do you know someone did switch that QR code? Or maybe a bank or a retailer doesn't even know it's there. So always look when you scan something, what website is this taking me to? Is this the correct thing? Black Friday sales and scams. What I recommend people to always do, you want to have a separate low-dollar credit card with protection to do all your holiday purchases, right? Don't mix it with your main credit card because someone might get it and maybe a retailer gets hacked and your information's gone. The second thing what I always recommend too is use a separate email, a free email account, a Gmail, something of that nature to sign up for all your holiday shopping, because as we're going through this season, they're building lists and databases and things like that, and you're going to get hit with a ton of fake Amazon scams, fake shipping scams, things of that nature. And it's just a way to isolate it so it's not in with your main mail. So your hackers are really looking. They're coming to get you. They don't care. They do not wish you a happy Thanksgiving. They hope you make their Thanksgiving better by stealing your personal information, passwords, credit card information, banking information, and anything else. So while we're enjoying the holidays, we really want to make sure that we're staying vigilant because, and one other one before I leave you on this part, be very careful about those tug your heart scams, whether it's, any of the organizations. If someone asks you for a check or if someone says, hey, I'm raising money and you want to support that organization, go direct to their website and pay or mail a check to their office, because unfortunately hackers take advantage of this time of the year in order to fill their pockets with cash and using good causes to get your money. So we always try to walk away with some entrepreneurial takeaways, even if it is the holidays. Some that I'd like to give you are, number one, give thanks, and true thanks and appreciation. Gratitude for your team, gratitude for your clients, Gratitude for your partners and other professionals that are supporting you. I don't care what size business you are, we're not doing this alone. And just like I mentioned earlier, we rely on so many vendors and partners. I'm sure you do as well. Gratitude for your team's family. Understand as an entrepreneur and a business leader that it's not just the employee, it's their families and really the community at large. 3, give back. And there's 2 ways to give back. For the startups where cash flow is the most important thing, you want to be helpful, but you really need that money to stay in business, because if you're not in business, you can't help anyone. But you do have some time that you could offer, whether it's bringing on an intern, whether it's joining a board, helping with a little local golf committee for a nonprofit. Anything that you could do to give back will help the community. And I have to tell you, you don't look for a 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 give back. But for me, in all the years, every time I do something good and I do it for the right reasons, I feel like something good really happens to me. Those are some really great lessons. Another lesson is that I like to share is, give thanks for the gift of our ability to read, learn, and constantly evolve. As the holiday seasons come up, we're going to be busy. We're going to be out to a lot of different events, but find that time to calm yourself, read, learn a new skill set. It's so helpful to get other ideas through books. And, at one point prior to children, I was reading 50 books a year. I'm lucky if I get maybe 10 now, and I'm sure over time that'll change. But, reading has really helped me. And I give thanks to all the authors, especially Napoleon Hill, who's my Bible of Think and Grow Rich. You hear me say it over the podcast. And really a lot of other things. Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Dale Carnegie also has a great public speaking book. So seek out the classics and give thanks for that time just to sit down, read, and learn. So what I'd also like to say, like to end the podcast, is thank you so much again. Like, I started with thanks, but I also want to end with thanks. I've been blessed to be a part of so many different communities, starting out in Southwest Philly and then coming to South Jersey, making my network here. Then expanded out to Cumberland County, which is still South Jersey, but it's a whole different business ecosystem. Going out, almost 20 years ago and making friends in Delaware, expanding to Boston, expanding to Florida. I'm so grateful for all of you. I'm thankful for the journey. And I could tell you, there's so many people that really helped us just grow, succeed, and create so many great jobs, do so many great things for the community. And we're truly blessed. So thank you. Have a nice Thanksgiving. And I hope you tune in again to Built to Scale with Anthony Mongeluzo.